Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers visit their care recipients with relief items and much-needed emotional support. As Taiwan is entering a peak season for energy consumption, we investigate the methods Taiwan receives its energy. And members of Superformance Association in Taiwan hold a spiritual workshop to encourage more actors to join their ranks. Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam regularly visit care recipients each month to deliver relief items as well as emotional support. In gratitude for the timely assistance provided by Tzu Chi, many care recipients give what they can to help those in greater need.
Walking through the bustling market and towards the end of the alley, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive at the home of 83-year-old Nguyen Thi Sao, who lives in solitude and has not had any food the whole morning. The continuous care and love of these volunteers also helped strengthen Tai through his times of need. The man hopes to reciprocate by taking part in Tzu Chi's future distribution with his daughter.
Our lives are more stable now, so we must support ourselves. Thinking we have it tough only makes things worse.
Besides aid supplies, volunteers also enlighten care recipients with Tzu Chi's ideals. The senior couple took the volunteers' words to heart and no longer uses styrofoam.
Last time we learned the idea of not using styrofoam, so we share the idea with others. This is a way of giving.
Knowing Tzu Chi is promoting the bamboo coin bank era, this sister pair, despite making only 14 NT dollars a day, gives what they can. The deputy chairman of the local Red Cross also leads by example.
I have been participating in Tzu Chi events for a while. We've learned to be grateful, to respect and love all those in need, so I never wear any accessories now.
In every forgotten corner of society, Tzu Chi volunteers will be there to bring love and warmth to those in need.
In the United States, a super tornado swept through Oklahoma on May 20th, causing severe damage to everything in its path. On May 25th, accompanied by the Red Cross, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Tzu Chi Dallas chapter arrived in the Little Axe community to conduct a survey and later handed out cash cards to victims. Upon entering the disaster zone, volunteers were overwhelmed by the devastation left by the tornado.
During the tornado, the Little Axe community was leveled, trees and electric poles were uprooted, while cars were turned upside down and buried in the rubble. Though Tzu Chi volunteers prepared themselves for what they might see in the disaster zone, they were still overwhelmed by the devastation.
The tornado caused severe damage here. The destruction is unbelievable.
Assisted by the Red Cross, volunteers from the Tzu Chi Dallas chapter arrived on the scene to tend to the disaster victims. Before the super tornado hit, Little Axe had already been struck by another twister a day prior.
This is where the tornado hit. Its trail was some 20 kilometers long, and this was where the tornado ended.
At the distribution center, Tzu Chi volunteers from Dallas and Oklahoma hand out cash cards and blankets, helping 63 families in total. Next, volunteers will travel to another hard-hit community, the city of Moore, to continue to care for disaster victims there.
In Taiwan's Changhua County, we meet Tzu Chi care recipient Mr. Hong and his family, as Hong suffers from diabetes, which has affected his eyesight and left him unemployed. His wife is now the sole breadwinner for the family. Before, the family of four lived in an old house with tattered walls and broken ceilings. Now they have found a new home. Tzu Chi volunteers have decided to help them move and also clean up their new place.
This is where Tzu Chi care recipient Mr. Hong and his family used to live. Thankfully, the family has found a better place to live, and Tzu Chi volunteers are here to help them move. Dozens of volunteers first wipe down the furniture before loading it onto the truck. Arriving at the new house, Mr. Hong's two excited boys not only help with the moving, but also the cleaning. When the last new mattress is finally laid down, the move comes to a completion.
I helped carry some stuff onto the truck. At the new house, I helped unload the stuff and clean.
Mr. Hong's eyesight has deteriorated due to his diabetes. With Mr. Hong unable to work, his wife has become the sole breadwinner for the family, and the couple are grateful for volunteers' help.
I cannot do anything for my family. Thankfully, Tzu brothers and sisters are always around. I'm really grateful. I have to get back on my feet.
Thanks to Tzuji's help, the family of 4 were able to move to a cleaner and more comfortable environment. With the love and warmth of the volunteers, the Hong family knows that it can carry on regardless of the difficulties ahead.
As summer approaches, Taiwan will soon be entering a peak season for energy consumption, followed by a general across-the-board hike in electricity rates come October. Next, we take a look at where Taiwan is currently getting its energy from, as well as the pros and cons of each method. Here's more.
In this day and age, electricity is so ubiquitous that we don't even notice it anymore. But where does our electricity actually come from? It all starts here at this power plant. With smokestacks that rise 250 meters into the sky, the Taichung Thermal Power Plant is not only a major regional landmark, but also Asia's biggest coal-fired power plant.
Every year we burn through 18 million tons of coal. In storage, we have anywhere from 1.8 to 2.3 million tons. About 65% of the coal we import comes from Indonesia.
Not only do Taiwan's coal-firing plants depend on imported raw materials, but they are also a major cause of air pollution and generators of greenhouse gases.
They produce CO2 and other forms of atmospheric pollution. In a society that is taking conservation more seriously, that is a big problem.
In addition to coal-powered plants, nuclear power derived from uranium-235 is an important source of electricity.
It stands about 1 centimeter high and has a diameter of 1 centimeter. After being mined, it gets manufactured into uranium dioxide.
The relatively cheap uranium-235 fuels Taiwan's 3 nuclear power plants that altogether meet 18.4% of Taiwan's electricity needs. However, due to Taiwan's frequent seismic activity, a repeat of Japan's Fukushima nuclear disaster, only this time in Taiwan, is always a danger.
Another problem, of course, is the disposal of your nuclear waste. This is in fact a problem that every country faces, as they struggle to find a suitable place to store their nuclear waste.
Facing either the threat of radiation or air pollution, governments, including Taiwan's, have looked into renewable energy resources, such as wind or water, for a solution. Currently, Taiwan has 39 hydroelectric plants in operation.
Using the difference in height, we use the water's potential and kinetic energy to drive our turbines, which in turn creates electricity.
But can hydropower ever completely replace more traditional forms of energy generation?
Taiwan's hydropower is insufficient. Always been dependent on having enough water to power the plant is infeasible. I would not have too much hope for it as a major source of energy production in the future.
Currently, hydropower only meets 8% of Taiwan's energy needs. To prevent energy shortages, Taiwan's government has been researching other ways of producing energy, with wind farms on Taiwan's west coast as a step in that direction.
Wind turbines have very little effect on the environment as they don't produce any exhaust. Also, Taiwan, when compared to other countries, is a very suitable place for wind farms.
But such wind turbines do create noise pollution, and with Taiwan being surrounded by sea in 4 directions, wind direction and power is both uneven and unstable, meaning power sometimes can be concentrated. Each type of electricity generation has both pluses and minuses, but perhaps the answer is not in more power stations, but at home with learning how to lower energy consumption and conserve resources. In other words, the solution ultimately rests with us.
The main culprit behind Taiwan's greenhouse gas are the country's coal-fired power plants. In fact, Taipower's Taichung thermal power plant is the biggest in the world and also the largest carbon dioxide emitter. However, the only way to reduce the country's dependency on fossil fuels is to utilize renewable energy. In our next report, we will tell you the challenges of going green and how to overcome them.
The chimneys of Taipower's Taichung thermal power plant rise into the sky. The plant generates the most electricity in Taiwan, but is also the world's largest emitter of carbon dioxide. In order to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions, Taiwan must learn to rely less on coal power plants like this and more on renewable energy.
The Executive Yuan passed the Sustainable Energy Policy in 2008, which states that by 2025, Taiwan's carbon emissions should be reduced to the level they were at in 2000, and that 8% of our power should come from renewable energy plants.
Renewable energy may seem perfect, but stability has always been an issue.
If the voltage is too high, say for example, a solar power system comes online, then it could potentially lead to a power surge that could fry appliances in homes. Due to the potential power surge hazard, you can only install so many renewable energy stations. If you want to add more, then you will have to rely on the microgrid technology.
This is the microgrid test field inside the Institute of Nuclear Energy Research Organization. A microgrid is an independent system that supplies and distributes power locally while monitoring and regulating power that can otherwise affect the whole grid. A microgrid can help introduce renewable energy sources into the main grid.
In a microgrid, power is generated and distributed. If there are leftovers after allocation, then the rest are sent outside of the grid to use. This helps minimize the loss of energy in transmission over a long distance.
According to statistics, 60% of energy generated by traditional power plants is lost in transmission. The problem is even more evident in isolated areas and offshore islands. Microgrids can help resolve that problem and save energy. Like building blocks, when properly pieced together, microgrids can help perfect a power system.
Perhaps solar power is not a good choice for location, while wind power would work better, so you install more wind units. However, the control system for primary wind power system and the primary solar power system are different. You have to consider the installation site.
When it is sunny, excess solar energy can help produce the fuel to be used in fuel cells. When the sun is no longer available, the stored fuel can then be used to power fuel cells and provide power to the grid.
The system can be used to help generate power or store energy. Fuel cells can continue to generate power as long as fuel is being fed to the system. So when your power demand decreases, you can cut back on your fuel. Fuel cells complement renewable power plants like those relying on sunlight and wind, as they help stabilize power output.
70% of Taiwan's energy consumption is supplied by the island's coal-fired power plants, which is why the small island produces so much greenhouse gas. However, by utilizing microgrids, less energy will be lost in transmission, and renewable energy can also be incorporated into the main grid for consumer to use.
In Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the students at Songhai Blow RRI Tamil School since 2008's New Shoe Scholarship Program. Thanks to last year's meal program and transportation subsidies, the impoverished students' schoolwork and attendance have greatly improved. In showing their appreciation for all of Tzu Chi's help along the way, the school allowed volunteers to renovate an old shack into a Tzu Chi recycling point.
After Tzu Chi volunteers' hard work, this old shack located inside Songhai Blow RRI Tamil School has been transformed into a sparkling new recycling station.
You are the first recycle center in a school in Bataling.
To show their appreciation for Tzu Chi Foundation's long-term assistance to their school, the teachers and students donate the money earned from selling the recyclables back to Tzu Chi.
You know what you should keep in your heart? Remember Tzu Chi forever. the good deed that they are doing for us, for the society, to save the world, to save the earth.
The school has especially incorporated environmental concepts into the school's curriculum and appointed a few senior students as recycling angels to help out.
I will tell the Suchi Foundation came and opened a recycling center for us. And I'm the recycling angel. I love Suchi very, very much. And I thank the teachers who had put me in this. And I will do my work properly and truly.
We are creating young Suchi members in the school, not only the students and also teachers. Although the needy students, those who don't have money, at least they are bringing something to put in the recycling center. What they can, they are doing.
Along with the grand opening ceremony, volunteers also held seminars and activities for teachers and students to gain a better understanding of environmental protection.
We will continue to care and provide guidance to them until the recycling center can run on the right track. Then we'll leave it to their accord and just dispatch recycling trucks to come pick up the items when needed. From needing assistance to assisting others, these children are creating ripples of kindness and compassion with their good deeds.
Vesak Day is a day to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and passing of the Buddha. Many Buddhist countries hold large-scale celebration on this day in May. Tzu Chi volunteers in different regions of Malaysia also hold Buddha Day ceremonies to celebrate with some of the participants coming to pay their respects and others looking to let go of their worries and resentment.
In Malaysia, at the Penang Buddhist Association, a Vesak Day ceremony was held to celebrate the grand occasion, while in Penang's Jingsi Hall, Tzu Chi volunteers held a Buddha Day ceremony to celebrate.
Before I attended the event, I was stressing about schoolwork, but after attending the ceremony, my heart is at peace and my stress has been relieved.
When Cho Zhu-zhen's husband left her, Cho had to take care of her 3 children alone. Although depressed and resentful at the time, with Dharma teachings in her heart, she now is past all that.
I want to express my gratitude for Tzu Chi's help. I'm honored to have met them when I was going through a difficult time and wanted to end my life. The volunteers came to look after me and offered me guidance. It was then I realized how beautiful the world is.
Some attend the Buddha Day ceremony hoping to find an outlet to express their feelings.
My parents are a great influence in my life, and sometimes they will use us as commodities, as well as transfer their grievance on us children.
Meanwhile, at the Kulai local retreat in Johor, Tzu Chi volunteers led children in the serving of tea to parents after the Buddha Day ceremony.
I'm very happy because I have never received tea from my child before. A little, but I'm more joyful than embarrassed. It's very different. This was a first time for me.
While at the Pontian local retreat in Johor, a grandfather was served tea by his 5 grandchildren, evidence that acts of filial piety are being passed on to future generations.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth volunteers from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter will be performing the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents this October. After recruiting all the needed performers, the first rehearsal was arranged, during which students came together to understand filial piety.
Here in Malaysia, teachings from the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor region are practicing for the upcoming musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents.
A little nail could have a profound impact on the whole stage, so I will do my best in playing my role to perfection. At least now I don't take what my parents gave me for granted.
The sharing of the meaning behind tea serving and filial piety deeply moves the participating students, including Chen Yifan.
Not only on Parents' Day, but also on our parents' birthday or our own birthday, the day of our birth is also a painful day for our mothers. So it is on those days that we should pay respect to our parents by serving tea to them.
Performing the musical requires one to multitask and move in sync with others, which is a challenge for many first-timers.
The performers all worked hard. They didn't get it right the first time, of course, but the most important thing is that they are all putting their efforts into it and slowly are forming a close bond.
Dedicating all their efforts to the rehearsal, these students hope to share their moving experience with their audience come October.
In Taiwan, it has been 2 years since the Superformance Association was first established. The beauty of Tzu has touched the hearts of many actors who are now devoted volunteers. Recently, a spiritual workshop was held at the Tzu Guanzhou grounds as members of the association hope to encourage more actors to join their ranks. Sharing the bittersweet moments of her job and the life-changing moment when she met Master Zheng Yan and Xiao Juzhen, who is one of the managers of the drama department at DaAi TV. Today's seminar held at the Tzu Guanzhou grounds is joined by actresses, and members of the Tzu Performance Association.
We need to contribute our share and help the needy because it will help us view our world from a different perspective.
Before, my daughter would not say hi to me when she came home, but now she will. I'm really happy because now I have a harmonious family once again. I realize that when I'm changing myself, everything around me changes too.
After the event, many actors seized the opportunity to interact with members of the Performance Association. Meanwhile, other members and volunteers quietly cleaned up the venue. Everyone works hand in hand folding tablecloth, cleaning tables and washing the dishes.
We are the standby team and we are here to assist other volunteers if needed. It doesn't matter what the tasks are, we are happy to do it. Inside the washroom, these actors put their glamour behind them and roll up their sleeves and get down to work.
I am filled with tremendous joy when I volunteer. All of us need to seize the opportunity to do volunteer work, or else others will take over that task.
From the start of the seminar to its finish, members of the Tzu Performance Association are involved every step of the way. Their actions are not only embedded with Tzu's humanistic spirit, but also a spirit of humbleness that carries their message far and wide. We stay in Taiwan at the end of the show to encourage staff members to embrace the world of books. Weichuan Foods Corporation in Wufeng, Taichung set up a reading area inside their factory with many books from Jingsi Publications. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.